I don't know how to do an intro. I was gonna say what's up, but that seemed a little too exciting. So I'm just gonna get straight into what this video is about. Wait, I have to burp. Oh my god, that was lame. Basically, this video is just gonna be about my experience in high school. I'm not even gonna do like my entire experience in high school because that's 4 years and
Yeah, that's a lot.
so I'm just gonna do, I guess, my freshman year. So, yes, I was 12 when I started high school. And how old are you supposed to be? I think the youngest people are is usually 13, but sometimes they're 14 and sometimes they're 15. 14 is like the standard, like, this is how old you are when you enter high school. 12 is usually like 7th grade. So, I guess I should tell you why I started high school so early. So basically, I started kindergarten at a young age. I was 4 years old. My mom, like, hey, my daughter's 4, like, can she be in kindergarten? And they were like, yeah, she can, like, be in kindergarten, but if she's, like, not catching up with everyone else, then we'll hold her back. And then it's like, okay, that's fair. So yeah, there's like a cutoff date. Like if you have your birthday in like August or something, or like past August or September, you're supposed to not have started at 4. But my birthday was in December, so I was like way past the cutoff date, but like it's fine. Everyone was already older than me. Like I just had my birthday like last, or when everyone was turning 6, I was turning 5. So like yeah, so that happened, and then
My school life is extremely normal.
until I hit 6th grade, my old school was like making a bunch of changes, and it just like wasn't like cool. So my mom was like, okay, we're gonna move to a new school. So when we got to the new school, they were like, okay, what grade are your kids in? And then my mom was like, well, my daughter's in 6th and my son's in 8th. And so they're like, okay, well, they have to take like a test to see what grade they place in. And so she's like, okay, whatever. So then me and my brother both took the test. So when they graded it, they like took my mom and were like, hey, so your daughter didn't place in 6th grade. And my mom was like, oh, damn, like my daughter's fucking dumb. But turns out I placed in 8th grade. So they were like, so do you want your daughter to like move up? And then I think she asked me, I don't remember exactly, but my mom was like, no, like don't move her up. She's gonna stay in her group because like I don't want her to move up, like be away from our friends or whatever. So I stayed in the 6th grade, but I was taking a higher level math because I actually had been taking a higher level math since the 5th grade. This is in the spring of 6th grade. I'm still taking 7th grade math, and then I moved up to 8th grade math, and then I moved up to like advanced 8th grade math. I don't even remember, but basically I was extremely advanced when it came to math. So I would be like in my 6th grade class, but at like some time in the day I had to like go to the 8th grade classroom so that I could be in their math class. So that happened for a little while, and then basically, long story short, my teacher, my 6th grade teacher, like I think she got sick, or like her parents got sick or whatever, but she had to leave, so we got a sub, and the sub
Hated me.
she hated me. Like she like failed me on assignments, and she would tell my mom like, oh, your daughter sleeps in class and blah blah blah. And the reason why she said that is because when I'm writing, I write like this, like I lay down, but I'm awake, but I'm like, that's how I write. I don't write like that anymore. Well, I still do sometimes, but I'm like self-conscious because I feel like I'm in trouble. So then my mom like complained to like the principal and like all this shit, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna move her up. And since I had already placed in the higher grade anyways, they knew that I was smart enough. So they literally moved me up. I don't even remember what month in the spring of my 6th grade. So now they moved me up to the 7th grade. I think my mom asked me if I wanted to be in the 7th or 8th grade, and I said 7th grade because my brother was in the 8th grade, and I felt bad because I would have been 11 years old in the 8th grade, and he was like 13 or 14. So that would have been embarrassing, and I like just felt bad. So I moved up 1 grade, even though later on he skipped grades too. So like, what the heck? So that's how I guess skipped grades. It's very strange to explain because I never really skipped a grade. I did kinder through sixth, but I only did half of sixth. Like I did the first semester of sixth, and then the next semester I did seventh, but it wasn't even the whole semester because I was already into the semester of sixth grade, and then I went into seventh grade. Like it was like, yeah, and it was seventh grade was hard because I like didn't really have a foundation of sixth grade, and then I just was like just thrown into seventh grade, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. The hardest part was definitely like the reading and like literature and stuff because like
what is happening?
but I survived. So I was 11 as a seventh grader at the spring of seventh grade. So then eighth grade, I was still 11 in the fall. And then in the spring, I was 12. So then when I entered high school, I was 12. So now onto the story of me being a 12-year-old in high school. I went to a private school, so it was fairly small. That means everybody knows who you are. Well, at least by the end of the year, everyone knows who you are. I dressed like a 12-year-old. I wasn't like kids nowadays. You know how they dress when they're 12. They're like, what, you're 12? I thought you were like 25. Yeah, no. I dressed it like I put like Hello Kitty shirts on. I always wore just like, I guess, what are they called? Graphic tees. So it would be like a picture of a penguin or a picture of a funny thing. That's all I would wear. It's kind of strange that nobody thought that I was 12 years old. I did not tell people immediately when I was a freshman that I was 12. It's just not something you say.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm 12.
It wasn't, I think, until I turned 13 that I started telling people that I was 12 when I started, you know? Because like my birthday came and then people would ask like, "Oh, how old are you?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm 13." And they'll be like, "Oh, are you turning 14?" I'll be like, "No, I'm turning 13." And they're like,
Like, what? You were 12? I thought you were 15.
and like I don't know why people thought I wasn't 12. I mean, I understand because like when you're in a specific grade, they're like gonna think, "Oh, you're in this grade, so therefore you're this age." But based on how I looked, I don't know how they couldn't tell. Maybe they're just being nice because like, yeah. My experience overall, because I didn't tell anybody that I was 12 when I actually was 12, I wasn't treated any differently because nobody knew. Also, I was a lot smarter than everybody else, so they just assumed I was their age, if not older. I was very shy, so I wasn't one of those obnoxious 12-year-olds that like was weird and like ran around and screamed. I just kind of like was to myself and had my little circle of friends that I made. So being 12 in high school did not affect my experience at all until I got older, which is like weird. Like you would think that it would be like hell when I was 12, but it wasn't until afterward when I was like 14. People would be like, "Oh my god, it's the 12-year-old." And I'd be like, "Guys, I'm a junior. Please leave me alone." I had to deal with that throughout my entire high school life after I wasn't 12 anymore. You know how when you're in high school and 1 year makes a difference? So like when you're 14 and people are like, "You look 13." They're like,
What? I look 13? I look that young?
like that's how it felt when people said you're 12 and I'd be like, "No, I'm 14. Like I'm not 12 anymore. Like stop fucking calling me that." Also, when I was 14, like I said, I was a junior, so I wore a shitload of makeup. It wasn't even because I was 14, it was because I was a junior. And like everybody else, like juniors and seniors were what, 16, 17? So they were wearing makeup. So then I did it too. Yeah, I wore like makeup every single day. It's great. And I straightened my hair every single day, which, oh my god, I literally woke up so early to do that shit. Overall, my age did not affect my high school experience, except for when it came to guys that were older than me. That also affected more my college experience. If you didn't do the math, I started at 16, so I can do another video on that later, but that is my experience being a 12-year-old in high school. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.